You did anything. Come on. There'll be no good to anybody like this. I'm going to take you home.
And let me know if there's any news, won't you?
Yes, we will.
I'll be at Emmerdale Farm.
Yes, we know.
Morning.
Maya. Any news?
Not when I left the search. What time were you there till?
About 2. Got to the point it was more of a hindrance than a help. So I'd come back and get some sleep, see what I could do today. As well as look after this place as well.
And farm affairs seem petty in the circumstances. Something like this focuses the priorities.
Aye. Do you want a cuppa?
Yeah, please.
I wonder where he is then.
Poor little Mike could be anywhere. I just hope he's alive and well and not being held somewhere.
So you think he might have just run away then?
Who knows? Trouble is, you got to assume the worst and work back from it. Probably could survive a night or two on his own, but not much more, I think.
They seem such a rock-solid family, Dutch Sugdens. I can't imagine why he'd want to run away.
He's 9 years old. His imagination will be very fertile. Who knows what's going on in his head? How's the work progressing?
As planned. Yeah, we'll be ready for the start of season. Oh, there's some prices I need for the timber repairs on some of the chalets.
All right. Take the labour you've got working at the moment and ask for volunteers to join the search.
Are you serious?
Of course I'm serious. Tell them it's for 2 days. 2 vital days, as I see it. And I'll pay them their current rate.
Well, that's very generous, Mr. Tate.
When you've got kids of your own, you'll understand me.
Any news?
Nothing. I'll make us all a cuppa.
Oh, let me do it.
I'll get back out there now that you've come home.
Don't say it like that, Jack. I've been out searching for him.
Well, if you hadn't done what you did in the first place... Oh, forget it.
No, go on, say it. If I hadn't got a job and worked away from home, then everything would have been all right.
Oh, come on. This is the last thing anybody needs now.
If you'd just stuck to working away from home, everything would have been all right. It's when you started playing away that the trouble began.
It just isn't true. I can explain everything that you saw.
Won't bring him back, though, will it?
Do you reckon there'll be a reward, Dan?
There's a kid missing out there. You're going searching for him, not for any sort of reward.
Nobody'd do it for us.
My son might be thick, but he's right about that.
Shut it, thee. I'm not thick. I'm a man.
No, love, you're not. And the Pope's not a Catholic.
Think you're ready, lad? Now think. What happens when you're searching? You've an excuse to go anywhere you want. Any barn, shed, outbuilding. See what's what for the future.
I best get me outdoor clubber on then.
You're going to school, lady.
What about that poor missing kid?
I'll be the only missing kid from school, and all today you've got an education to catch up on.
If there is a reward, how will we sort it like? All to one who finds him, or will we share it out like?
There's only you mentioned a reward.
There might be one, though. I'd buy my son a car. Convertible with all extras.
With cortisone injection, same as what footballers have. Yeah.
Aye, I'd have all that.
Is there any news?
Sorry, no. I just thought you might like this.
I'm not sure I could manage anything to eat, but thanks anyway.
Well, you ought to try.
I just keep churning it over and over again in my mind. Why he went. I'm thinking about it. I've neglected him since she was born. She was so ill, all I could do was think about getting her well again. And then when she was, I was up and out getting on with my own selfish life.
Do you think it's doing anybody any good, you thinking like that? Now, look, give Victoria to me, you eat that, and then get yourself some proper sleep.
Oh, God, Jan. I hope he's going to be all right.
Well, think about it. I mean, to my mind, he's just run off just to get a bit of attention from you and Jack. And then when he's fed up, he'll come home.
Please, God, you're right. Then we'll be a proper family again. I can't remember the last time that we were.
Come on, look. You give your mum some time to herself. Now do as I say. You eat that and then get some sleep.
I should be out looking for him with the others.
Eat and rest.
Any luck?
No, not when I left them. Is Dad back?
Fast asleep, determined to get back out there. I'll be going with him, make sure he doesn't overdo it. Can I get you some breakfast?
No, thanks. I haven't got time. I've got to get to surgery. Kim, can I tell you my news?
What news?
Well, I feel a bit guilty looking forward to my own future with Robert still missing, but...
What?
Emma and I are going to get a place together, and I'm delighted.
I'm really pleased for you. So, will you be taking up my offer now?
Look, I really appreciate it, but we're going to get a joint mortgage, so I don't need to sell my shares anymore. But thanks anyway.
Only wanted to be of help.
Thanks. Moustache.
See you.
Hey, Dave. Robert, come on.
Sometimes newspapers put the road money up. That'd be all right, wouldn't it?
You'd be famous as well.
Tell us our best to help, Jack. I appreciate it, Zach. Look, he wandered from the car. My fear is that he's stuck in a ditch or somewhere where he can't move. So those are the places to search rather than open ground.
Exposure's the danger, then?
I guess so. Best if you join that group over there. You'll know the land.
Fair enough. Lads and me can give you a day.
Appreciated.
Come on, then. Sooner we get started, sooner a chance of finding him. Name's Robert, isn't it?
Have papers been onto you yet?
What are you blathering on about?
They might give you a reward. I thought it best sorted now rather than later.
Sorry, Jack.
I think it best if you went to the office instead of the search.
Can't you ask Chris to handle it today? I hate to sound cruel, but he can't really help with the
Yeah, I
search.
know, but he's preoccupied with his marital problems, and I'm expecting a call from a very large travel agent about the holiday village. I'd sooner you handle it.
All right, whatever you think's best. So, what's Chris's problem, then?
Rachel wants the divorce sorted out before the baby's born, which is sensible. Once the baby's here, there's a clear line of succession. If that's not too grand, would it?
For the company and your money?
Well, certainly a proportion of it. The fear is that Cathy or an advisor will realise this and use it as a lever to get a better settlement.
And what can you do to stop it?
Make her an immediate, seemingly generous offer. Tell her that if she doesn't agree, then we'll drag the proceedings on for a long, long time. But between you and me, my big fear is the shares. If she controls them, she controls us. Anyway, you just worry about keeping that travel agent sweet, and I'll see you later.
Sure. Bye.
Jack, I want to help. I want to offer my sympathy, apologize for any part I may have unknowingly played in this, and to assure you that nothing untoward was happening between myself and Sarah.
You're all words, and I'm too tired to banter sonnets and rhymes.
I'm not here to be smart with words, Jack. I'm here to help.
You've done enough to help my family, trying to steal my wife and causing my lad to go missing!
Oh, that is nonsense. Sarah's a fine woman, and you should think better of her.
Stop it! Come on, break it up! Sit
A bloke turns up to help search for your missing kid, and you attack him? An explanation's called for, Mr. Sugden, don't you think?
The time for talking is when my lad's found. We're wasting time doing it now. I should be out there with the rest of them.
You're going nowhere until you tell me why you turned on that man. Your wife worked for him, didn't she?
You know she did.
That's all I know for sure, though. What else was going on, eh? An affair or what?
So why did you attack him? What, did you think he was involved in your son's disappearance? We meet all kinds in this job, you know. I could tell you stories you wouldn't believe. Things people do to people. Things you wouldn't even dream of happening behind closed doors. In neat little houses, in neat little streets, in neat little villages.
Just let me go and look for my lad.
Things people do to kids. 9 times out of 10, it's by people who know them well. More often than not, it's family. Close family. Now, there's a lot of people out there looking for your lad. And you were the last person to see him before he went missing. So, you got anything to tell me, Mr. Sugden?
I've told you people everything I know.
You haven't told me why you turned on that man who was only trying to help. Go on. Go and join the search. But I'm not happy with your lack of cooperation, Mr. Sugden. I'll be having another word with you in the future.
I'll bottle up when I've had a minute, Al.
Oh, we can cope. You've got half an hour of your break left, then you can catch up on the cellar work.
I could do with the rest of the day off. Feel as if I've trodden every inch of Yorkshire.
Oh, you must have found him then.
Don't talk daft, I said.
Hey, I'm not talking daft. Trod every inch of Yorkshire. I mean, circumstances are sad, but it'll do you good to get out and get a bit of exercise for a change.
Exercise? I'm only a stone heavier than I was my match-playing days. Fittest men in the world, top-class rugby league players.
Oh, and who's top class in here? Well, it must be you, Alan, because I never played.
I suppose it's too much to hope that you save me some food.
It's in the oven warming.
Cheers. I'm starving.
Oh, hello, can I help you?
I'd like half a lager, please, and a word with the landlord.
Yes?
Yes?
Landlord or manager?
Well, the landlord, I think.
Well, you're looking at the wrong chap. I'm the licensee. He's my manager.
Oh, well, hello, I'm Helen Ackroyd. I'm your local reporter.
Well, no offence, miss, but I'm afraid I don't have the time at the moment.
Look, I am local, and I just want to get a bit of, background information on the little local boy who's missing before the tabloid vultures arrive.
Yes, well, I'm sure your motives are as pure as the driven snow, but I really don't have the time, and neither does my manager.
I'm on my break for the next half hour, Al, unless you've changed the rota.
I shall be in the back doing some paperwork.
I thought you said you were starving.
It's our duty to talk to press, Brit. I never shirked an interview in my playing days, and I don't see how I should start now.
What did you play? Football?
Football? I played a man's game. Rugby league. You probably heard of me. Terry Woods. Played for Saints, Wyres, Halifax, and finished my career as a winged wonder of Farsley.
Yeah, I have heard of you, yeah. I follow Leeds, and a bit before my time, but my dad reckons you weren't bad in your day.
What are you doing?
A traffic survey. What does it look like? I've missed my bus.
Oh, lucky I came along then.
What's lucky about it? Somebody would have stopped.
It's lucky it's somebody you know. Could have been anybody.
And I'm supposed to be grateful you're a knight on a shiny motorbike, am I?
A knight with a spare helmet, anyway.
Protection to be worn at all times, eh?
Well, it is recommended. Look, I'm sorry you had to leave the party early last night. Perhaps we should do it again sometime.
Do what?
Have another party.
Maybe. Are you giving me a lift or what?
Sure.
So what are you saying?
In Connaughton. Look, I am local, and I do have the best interest of the little lad and his family in mind.
Aye, and I'm Ellery Hanley.
I know tabloid journalists have got a certain reputation, but I'm not one of them. Look, I care about my community and about the little boy who's missing from his family. Do you, know them?
Lad's name's Robert Sugden. His mum and dad are Jack and Sarah. He drinks bitter, she drinks lager. In here, anyway.
So what do you think's happened, then? Abducted or what?
He won't print this because I've no proof.
Of course not if you don't want me to. Look,
I just want some background information. You know, get the feel of what it's like for an ordinary family to have to search the countryside for their missing child.
Depends what you call ordinary, doesn't it?
How do you mean?
I've heard on good authority that she, Robert's mum, was sipping champagne with her fancy man when her husband Jack turned up.
Well, go on.
You won't see her said.
Oh, of course not.
So she, Sarah, Robert's mum, and he, bit on the side, are getting legless when Jack arrives, catches him at it and blows his top. Kid sees all this and does a runner. Simple as that.
So you think he's run away?
Pound to a penny. And who can blame him? They left baby in car.
You're joking.
I'm not. I'm a city lad myself. I thought country life would be boring. But I could tell you tales that would make your toes curl. No danger.
I bet you could.
Come in, Terry Woods. Your time's up.
Got a pub to run. Hang about for a minute, though. The wife will be on a break.
They'll be able to cover a lot more ground in daylight.
Where else are they going to look? They've searched everywhere.
Well, Robert's a bright little lad, isn't he?
Very.
Come and sit down, Sarah. It's a cup of tea. Think how many outbuildings there are on this farm alone. There's plenty of places like this between here and Hutton. You could easily have found somewhere to keep warm.
What if somebody's got him? What if he's fallen?
Then they'll still find him. Oh, tea, Jack? It's fresh.
Don't want to spoil your cosy little tea party.
He blames me.
I'm sure he doesn't.
They all will.
Gossip's the same in town and country. But Jack's saying things he doesn't mean. People do at times like this. He'll come round.
In his own time, when all this is over?
Yeah, you'll see.
It'll be too late then. Way too late.
What's up with her?
I don't know. She due to drop and now's happening. You go up with the police, not the tops after.
Thought I'd give you a break. Now you get some sleep.
Oh, I'm all right for a while yet. I've still got plenty of tea left in the flask.
Spare some.
Yeah. What's up, Nobby, up at the house yet?
Regular little woman's tea club in there. You'd think there was nothing going on.
Oh, he'll be safe. Come back safe and sound, Jack. I just know it.
Well, they'd have found him by now. If he'd been round here, he'd know where he was, know the land. Up at Sarah's fancy man's.
Oi, boss or not, Jack, just take a bit of advice from a mate. Wasn't it you and Sarah teach us his throat that made him run away in the first place?
Well, what would you have done, Ned? If Jan had taken up with some bloke, if he was filling her head full of fancy ideas so that she'd lie to her family, didn't even care about them.
You know exactly what I'd have done. The same as you. Only I'd have probably broken his flaming neck. Then I'd be stood here taking good advice from you.
Yeah,
Tea or coffee? Which do you prefer? We've got Earl Grey or Tippy Assam if you prefer Indian. Well, it's Mum's favourite in the morning. She used to prefer China in the afternoon.
You're serious, aren't you? In our house, the only thing you get in bed is fleas.
Well, this establishment prides itself on its room service. I think I'll go and make a pot of coffee. Give you time to think if there's anything else you fancy.
What time is it, any road?
8ish.
Well, forget the coffee. I've got school.
Can't you take the day off?
No. Now go and put shower on. I think you'd better have one first. And make it a cold one. What do you think?
Well, I think they'll notice they're not yours.
I'll say they're our Sam's.
I know, he hasn't got that good taste.
Get anything to drink?
Yeah, there's some drinks in the fridge. But can't we go into school together?
You like hospital food?
Look, I don't care who knows. Surely it's better this way than our families hating each other.
And you think me spending the night with you is going to endear you to my lot?
I didn't drag you kicking and screaming.
I know that. You know that. But would you like to explain it to our Sam and Butch in a very dark alley?
Well, at least let me give you a lift part of the way. Look, with the helmet on and the visor down, no one will know who you are. Especially with those jeans on.
No! Got to go. I'll ring you.
Oh, stay.
A-levels.
You can help me revise.
Tonight. I'll ring you tonight, okay?
Yeah, you can come round.
You think I hadn't worked that out for myself?
See you, Luke. We'd be better off helping him look for Robert.
You're going to school.
We know places he might be hiding. Better than the police.
Maybe you do, but I noticed Roy's dad sending him to school. Come on, Luke.
It might be a reward if we find him.
I don't believe I heard you say that.
What?
This little lad is a friend of yours. Finding him is not about money. Move.
Well, it is if you find him.
You have to buy a lottery ticket. It's the only way you get your hands on any money. Now go on, op it, the pair of you.
All right, lads. There you go, Vic.
Trouble is, they've probably got as much chance of winning the lottery as they have finding Robert alive by now.
Oh, come on. There's thousands of places out there he could be.
Yeah? Well, if he ran away, he'd have been found. If he hasn't been found, it's because someone's got him.
What, you mean some pervert just happened to be passing when Jack happened to go into the house?
There's more around than you know.
Not that many. Not round here. Hey, Tel? Yeah, you don't think he's one, do you?
Hi.
So, how have you been? You're looking,
Before you say anything, I've just got back from a run.
A run?
Not a jog, a run. 3 miles along the front. That's why I look like this. I was just about to get a shower. I bet you thought I was still in a mess, didn't you?
No, of course not. You're actually looking marvellous, I think.
Oh, thanks. Mum's gone to York shopping.
You passed on a day's shopping? Are you sure you're well again?
Well, it's nice to spend some time on my own. Mum's great, but no, it's difficult living with her after all this time. I'm looking forward to getting back to my own place again. There you go.
Ah.
What do you mean, ah?
Chris has moved back into the cottage.
Why, have Chris and Rachel split up?
No.
You mean that little bitch is living in my house?
No. I don't think so.
I'm glad you've come, Kim. I was beginning to wonder if I had any friends left.
Have you seen the way that bottle's going down? Good stuff. So what, can I get some more?
I'm not going skulking about in the woods with all these coppers about the place.
But I need it.
A couple of days, OK.
I thought you were supposed to save us a paper.
I did. Terry picked it up earlier.
Oh, I spilled some tea over it, love. Sorry, I forgot to mention it.
Did you manage to read it?
No, let's have a look at Shop Sports page.
Then you what's in this, then?
Bad business, that. Poking her nose into people's private lives.
Didn't that woman who came in yesterday say that she wrote for this rag?
Who's that?
Helen Ackroyd. You know, the reporter you were getting outside a bottle of wine with yesterday.
Oh, I think that's her name,
I say, this is a bit strong.
Did she get all this stuff from you?
Of course not.
Oh, the winged wonder of Farsley. The gabbling gob of Emmerdale, more like. You tell her what a hero you used to be and she reels you in like the prat you are now. Hello. Talk of the devil. Sorry? Now, if you don't want this shoving where the fairy wears a Christmas tree...
Oh, give it a break, love. She talked to loads more people than me. I didn't tell you out, did I?
So you're saying this isn't true?
We're telling you now. Get out.
I learnt a lot when Frank and I were divorced, and I wasn't in anything like as strong a position as you are. But I was too trusting. I didn't want to cause any more upset.
Yes, but you came out of it all right, though, financially.
Well, yeah, but that's why I'm here, really. To make sure you don't do anything that... Well, you're too nice for your own good sometimes.
I think stupid's a better word.
Of course not. I wish there was more people around like you. People you can depend on. People you can trust. I think Chris has betrayed your trust enough.
Surely it's quite straightforward. We divide everything 50-50.
Since when has anything been straightforward with Chris?
Kim, do you know something?
No, not really. I just have this feeling. I think he might try to fob you off with shares in the company.
But what would I want with those? I can hardly see me being welcome at board meetings.
They are worth a fair bit.
Only on paper, and that's no good to me.
But if you turn them down, he'll make it seem like you're the one that's being unreasonable.
And no doubt then he'll offer to buy them back, or Frank will at a knockdown price.
Probably. Listen, I don't know how this sounds, but what if I bought them from you?
But why would you do that?
It'd help you out. I mean, that's what friends are for, aren't they?
Yes, but what would you want with shares?
Well, this may sound awful, but it would protect Frank against Chris trying anything. And I know this would never sway you, but think how Chris would take it if you sold his shares to me.
He'd hate it. He'd really hate it.
You know, Sam, there's not many lads who've got a car that matches the personality so perfectly.
Oh, rotten hell. Just when I thought I were going to get your bedroom.
Only girl's bedroom you'll be getting in, Sam.
You not think you're so clever when my mum's finished with you?
While you're around, Sam, I'll always be the clever one in the family, and the dog comes second.
Hey, what time do you call this to be coming home, lady?
I've got 3 periods this afternoon.
Get in the house, now.
Eddie Road, only thing you know about cars is back seat of them.
What are you on about?
Don't ask him hard questions, Mum. His head'll explode.
Your mother has been worried sick.
And you haven't. Don't you care anymore, Dad?
Where do you think you've been? Out all night?
At Soloris's. Didn't Sam tell you?
Oh, I've been young myself, Tina. I know all the tricks. I've had mates cover for me.
When?
Oh, it's before your time, Zachary Dingle. Stop mithering.
Mum, I'm shocked.
Who? I want his name.
Terry, John, Bill, Richard.
I'll leave you two to it. I've got homework.
Hey, you can do that tonight because you're grounded.
Never mind her. Richard who?
Oh, shut up, you silly old devil.
Now, when we get in there, it's important that we get the right message across. They'll be watching every little move. Oh, and remember, it may be the only chance you get to talk to Robert. Or if someone's holding him.
See you later.
Right, ladies and gentlemen. As I'm sure you'll all understand, both Mr. and Mrs. Sugden are too upset to get into a question and answer session, but Mr. Sugden does have a statement to make.
I just want to appeal to anyone who can help me get my little boy back. Please, Robert, if somehow you're reading this or watching it, come home. You know how much we all love you and miss you. And if someone out there knows where Robert is, please let us know. Let the police know. Let my little boy come home.
I think that covers it, ladies and gentlemen.
Could we get a photograph of Mr. and Mrs. Sugden with the baby?
That help, Jack.
Have you got any comment to make about the story that appeared in this morning's paper about Mrs. Sugden and the professor?
You think you wrote it?
I told you, Miss Ackroyd.
They do want our help. It is in the public interest.
I don't believe this. Come on, Sarah. You're only going to make things worse.
It can't get any worse. Can't you see how hard this is for us? And yet you're more interested in destroying our family than helping us find our son. Don't you realise that people actually believe everything that you write?
So you're saying you weren't at Professor McKinnon's house?
It wasn't like that. It was just a drink. We were working together and we'd just finished the project we'd been working on, and it was just a quick drink to say thank you. I've done nothing wrong. Please believe me. This is all a terrible nightmare. Please don't make it worse. Please help us to find our son.
What do you reckon?
Well, you never can tell.
If anybody has any information leading to...
I don't believe you two. Getting the kiddie back's what matters, not was she or wasn't she. I mean, all she did was have a drink with the bloke she worked with. Are we going out, or will people read something into it if Luke comes as well?
I've got some English to do.
Thought you did that last night.
Yeah, well, I had an early night in the end.
Come on, we'll go to Houghton. Get a burger or something.
Come in. Well, I might see you down there. It's just I'm expecting a phone call from Dad. If I'm not in when he phones, he thinks I'm not revising.
Well, you know what they say. All work and no play makes Luke a right swat.
Listen, mate, just because I'm not playing with you doesn't mean I'm out of the game.
Got a girlfriend, have you?
No. The only thing he takes to bed these days is the complete works of Shakespeare.
Don't think...
You'll be the first to hear anything.
I know. As long as we don't, there's hope, but I just can't stand not knowing.
Nothing I can say will make it any easier.
If I could talk to Jack, it might help.
Well, he did try.
I know, I totally flipped. He doesn't trust me. The time we need each other the most, and he doesn't trust me.
Morning, Mr. Sugden.
No news?
Nothing yet. I'll radio in.
I'll get your breakfast on.
I'll not bother. I just wondered if they'd heard anything.
You have to eat something, Jack, and get some rest.
There's work to do. Can't leave it all to Ned.
Jack, please stay and talk to me for a bit.
You all right?
I think I'll go mad if I have to carry on like this. I can't do anything.
Oh, why don't you go out for a while? I can get the phone.
What about Jack?
Well, I'll tell him you're out.
He probably wouldn't notice anyway.
Couldn't help overhearing before.
So do you think I'm having a wild affair too?
Doesn't matter what I think. But no, I don't.
I just can't get Jack to see it.
It's a massive trauma he's going through. You both are.
I just want him to listen to me.
Well, give him time, Sarah.
Yeah, well, I can't let it carry on like this, can I? Do you think he'd listen to Andrew McKinnon?
I shouldn't think so.
Well, obviously the other night was the wrong time, but if Andrew came round and simply explained that he's just my boss and that's all there is to our relationship, he'd see he'd got nothing to worry about.
Jack assaulted him the last time he saw him.
But if in spite of that he came and explained everything...
I still don't think it's a good idea.
Well, I've got to do something.
The guys that built this place were real craftsmen. Edwardian.
Victorian.
I don't need to tell you then that you wouldn't get this standard of workmanship in a modern box.
Yes, but you wouldn't be saying that if we wanted to buy a modern box, would you, Oliver?
Call me Ollie.
Ollie.
Excuse me. Is this damp?
A bit of condensation.
Are you sure?
The property has been empty for a while.
So it's difficult to sell then?
Good Lord, no. There's been lots of interest. A heck of a lot of interest.
Bit dark. It's quite dingy, really.
A lick of emulsion, some concealed lighting, you'll be away. I think daylight's overrated. Well, your soft furnishings, your fabrics, your frame prints, they'll fade, won't they?
We'll end up with eyes like moles.
So this isn't quite right.
Sorry.
I don't know how you can wind blokes up like you did with him. Oh, they can't get enough of it. They all think they're that special.
Oh, hiya, Luke. We thought you'd be in the wool pack last night.
Yeah, well, I had some work to do.
We best be getting off.
All right. See you. Bye, Luke.
I thought you were going to call me last night.
Don't come that. I tried loads of times. You were out.
I wasn't.
I felt like a right fool. Dolores said you were a two-timer.
Look, I was in all night and the phone didn't ring once. Must be on the blink.
You're not stringing me along, are you, Luke McAllister?
No, of course not.
I can't stand people who play stupid games.
Look, I waited in. I wanted you to call.
I'll give you another chance then. I'll come round tonight.
What time?
No wonder you skedaddled.
Hey, up, Seth.
Never mind, up, Seth.
What's up?
I thought you were my mate. I'm disillusioned. I've lost my faith in human nature.
What are you going on about?
I've treated you like a son, like fruit of my own lions.
Have you been on that whiskey again?
Don't you mention whiskey to me, and don't judge everybody by your standards. Not only nicking it, fogging it and rumming host at Woolpack. I've been double-crossed and humiliated.
Ah, well, if you have, I have and all. Do you honestly think I'd double-cross you and Vic?
I haven't asked him yet.
And you go on about me? You're just a cockney over a Yorkshire lad.
I had to be sure, lad. I had to be sure.
Sarah.
I hope you don't mind me just turning up like this.
Well, I must say I didn't expect to see you here, especially after the other night.
I wanted to talk to you.
Any news about Robert?
No.
I'm sure he'll turn up.
Can I come in, please?
Yeah. I read the coverage of the press conference. It was obviously an ordeal.
Yeah,
If there's anything I can do to help,
I think there might be.
fire away.
I wonder if you talked to Jack. I know it was really dreadful when he was here before, but
Yeah,
he's reading things into a situation which just aren't there.
well, that's hardly my fault.
I know, but I just think he might be prepared to listen to you now.
I honestly can't see it.
Would you try?
The less contact we have, the better. There's the added complication of this ridiculous newspaper speculation.
So you won't speak to him?
It won't be helpful to any of us. It's already causing problems with the publication of the book.
What's that got to do with it?
It is kind of important to me, Sarah.
It's just a book. I'm talking about my marriage.
I did try to talk to him. All I got in return was a display of machismo and threats of violence.
Well, his son's gone missing, and he feels he can't trust me.
That's difficult for all of us.
It's not just difficult, it's destroying him.
I really can help you, Sarah. Firstly, I don't think for 1 minute he would believe me. And second, although you might dismiss it, I'm not prepared to jeopardize my career any further. I've done nothing wrong. I'm sorry, Sarah.
Yeah, okay.
Aren't you supposed to be at school?
The games teacher's got the flu.
Oh, hope his mother sent a note in.
Yeah, you might well smile. Hop it, Scott.
You what?
I want a word with your dad.
All right. See ya.
Look at him, taking us for mugs.
What's all this about?
Don't come the innocent.
We're supposed to be partners. I knew it was a mistake, getting mixed up with a spiv.
Look, you going to tell me what's going on here, or is this some sort of new guessing game?
You nicking that whiskey and selling it to Woolpack direct.
Joking. Now, would I be so stupid as to try and twist you?
Yeah, but did you? That's the question.
Well, you ain't going to believe me no matter what I say.
Did you take it?
No.
I don't believe you.
What did I say?
What do you reckon?
Well, there's only Terry that knows.
What did he say, though?
We'll have to find out for sure.
Must be your busiest time of year with lambing. Oh, Sarah's back.
I'll be off then.
I've been to see Andrew McKinnon.
Why are you telling me?
Well, I just thought that...
Sarah hoped it would help clear the air.
Oh, it was your idea then, was it? I suppose since it's been in the papers, every Tom, Dick and Harry thinks they can stick their nose in.
No, Jack, it was my idea. I just thought if he came round to explain, you might believe there's nothing between us. It was a mistake.
I'll be back after milking. Yes, speaking. If you lay a finger on him... Who is that? Let me speak to him.
What is it, Jack?
The man says he's got Robert. We'll be hearing from him.
Lima Hotel from 3409.
Sorry, Ollie, this won't do.
I don't think you'll find another property which is quite so generous in the provision of natural daylight. A good southerly aspect to the rear.
There's nowhere for the animals.
I'm sure you could get a boyfriend to knock up a dog kennel.
I don't have a boyfriend.
I've a good mind to offer myself. To make the kennel.
For about 10 dogs,
10.
half dozen cats, various small mammals, the odd goat.
A joke, right?
She's a vet.
Ah, so you need outbuildings.
We did say...
I know, but I see my job as expanding your options. For instance, you've said you need only 2 bedrooms. I think, hang on, they'll need 3. A guest room.
We've thought about that. 1 guest room, 1 for us. Anything else you can show us?
Come in. Can I get you some tea or something?
He hasn't got time to sit supping tea.
Let's get all the details down first, eh? Then perhaps I'll have one. Wendy, would you take notes? Right, Mr. Sugden. You answered the phone.
Yes.
And it's the first call of this nature that you've had?
I would have said.
Of course. You didn't recognise the caller?
If I had, I'd have been round there.
Hey, don't even think about it. Is it a local accent?
I don't know.
Well, then would you say he was well-spoken?
No. No, he was local.
Young or old?
Young.
Kids?
No.
What did he say about Robert?
If we wanted to see him again, we had to do what he said.
How can anybody do this to a child?
We'll know that when we catch him.
Will you, though?
I'm not making any promises. But I'm not making any assumptions either. Enough of that in the press.
What do we do if he phones again?
We'll need to keep him talking.
No, don't worry about all that. We'll get an instant trace. All you've got to do is agree with everything he says.
To think that last night I was home alone feeling sorry for myself.
Oh, what a shame. I'll get me violin out, shall I? We've run out of wine. Nip to Windsor's and get some more.
What did your last slave die of?
Yes.
I don't think I'll bother with any more wine. I think I've had enough.
Well, I've not.
I better go then.
Don't be long.
Missing me already?
Thirsty.
I can guarantee Mrs. Windsor will grill me about Mum, Dad and Jess.
Tell her to get knotted.
Right then. Won't be long.
This is a warning. Boring messages will self-destruct. Speak now.
Luke? Oh, you're probably out boozing. It's Jess. Look, I'm coming up tomorrow night to stay for a bit. Look, can you get Biff to pick me up from the station? About 8-ish? Yeah, well, I hope you're okay, and I hope you're looking after yourself. Bye.
Why can't it be like this more often?
It can. We just have to decide that it's going to be.
Sounds like a business plan.
You're more important than all that.
What's brought all this on?
It might sound strange.
Go on.
I don't know. In a way, it's all this business with Robert Sugden. I suppose it's helped me to see what really counts.
Which is?
You. The baby. Us. Nobody and nothing should get in the way of that. Life's too short. I just want to be with you. I want to spend the rest of
the rest of my life with you. I want to care for you. Both of you. Go on. I love you, Rachel. Will you marry me?
I love you too, Chris. Yes. Yes, I will. When you're free.
Ignore it.
I'll just get rid of them. Here, open this and a juice for me and Buster.
Hello, Rachel. Cheers.
Make yourself at home, why don't you? You're looking so pleased about.
Do I?
Yeah, like a cat that's got the cream.
I must be happy then, mustn't I?
Good. I am too.
You know, I was thinking we should invite Biff and Sadie round tomorrow night. Have a pizza and a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, we could have cards printed. Mr. Luke McAllister and Miss Tina Dingle will be receiving guests.
Yeah, and send them to your family and mine.
Oh, don't, please. Out of sight, out of mind. And let's keep it like that. Our secret.
Yeah. To secrets.
How dare she turn up unannounced? Just marching in like that. I mean, what the hell is she playing at?
I can't handle this, Chris.
She enjoyed ruining our evening. She's just being malicious. What the hell are you doing?
I'm going home.
You can't let her spoil things.
Oh, it's a bit late for that! Look, why don't you just come back with me? Just let her get on with it.
Not a chance. If I leave, it's as good as handing the house over to her.
Oh, it's not time to discuss this now.
Look, it's not just the house. She wants to ruin things for us. I'm not going to let her get away with it.
So, how is everybody? Are you coming?
Stay.
I'll speak to you in the morning.
Bye, Rachel.
Very good. Very good. How long did you rehearse that little performance? Now, will you get out of here before I do something I'll regret?
There's no need to be so hostile. I thought you'd be pleased to see me. After all, you are my husband. So, what have you been up to?
What is it you want?
I don't want anything. Well, nothing that I'm not entitled to. I've come home, that's all, Chris. You know, to the place where I live.
You left.
I went on holiday. But it's always nice to be back, isn't it? Back home. Back home where I intend to stay.
It's for you.
Yeah. OK, thanks. We've got to be patient, Mr. Sugden.
It's my son out there. You should be out looking for him, and so should I. Not waiting on some pervert who's playing games with us.
He'll be all right, Jack. He's got to be.